Hi, welcome to my video. Today, as you can see, we are going to explore the new Holbein Granulating watercolor set, and I will also swatch the colors for you. So if you're interested, keep on watching. For some reason, I'm not even sure why, I bought two sets. If I really like them, I suppose I will have backup. And the set itself looks like this. There are 24 colors and they are all granulating watercolors. Some of them also use fluorescent dyes and are not light fast, but I will talk more about that when we get to swatching those colors. So the set just looks beautiful and I've already played with them a tiny bit. Some of the colors are very similar. I might try and put the official color swatches on the screen next to my swatches, but well, I'm not a video editing pro, so keep your fingers crossed. So I'm going to do the swatching in my Cobalt sketchbook. It's a sketchbook handmade in Poland by Mr. Tom Kowal. And if you haven't heard of his sketchbooks, I highly recommend them. He only uses professional paper, and this sketchbook is 17 by 25 centimeters with arch cold press watercolor paper. I've used it a bit. I'm not in a rush, but here at the end I have some swatches. For example, these are my Daniel Smith swatches from a dot card. This is the Jean Hines set, and these are my Schminke swatches and Roman Schmoll swatches too. This sketchbook has a rubber band, but it's detached. You can completely take it off. And ahead of filming this video, I've already prepared a page for my Holbein swatches, so let's go. I will go in this order. And I will be swatching using Da Vinci brushes. This is the Cosmotop Mix B series, and those have been my top favorite brushes recently. I really love them. They hold a nice point, they have soft hair, but are still sturdy, and just they really climbed to the top of my list very quickly. So the first color I'm going to swatch is Burke's Parrot Pink. It's made from Pigment Yellow 159, BV10, this is the fluorescent dye, and PR122. I've played around with those paints a little bit, so I know they can be diluted very well. I guess you can say they are not extremely highly pigmented, so I put a little bit more on the paper. And since those are granulating colors, I will use more water. So some colors are granulating but also separating, like this one. You can see the separation into yellow and pink, right? Let me zoom you in. This should be better. And I will grab a clip. I think I'll grab a bit more paint. So we can see what it looks like in mass tone. You can clearly see the fluorescent dye separating right away. And overall it's one of my favorites in this palette just because it's very unique. Obviously it's not light fast, so if you're looking for that you will have to look elsewhere, but just as a color it really appeals to me. Next color is Trumpet Vine Red, and it's made of PY159 and PR177. A little bit of binder came out. That's not a problem. First, let's add a lot of water. And then they can be made very transparent. And the color separation is also strong in this one. Immediately the yellow separates. Let's add more water. Okay. So this is Trumpet Vine Red. And interestingly, all of the colors are named after a plant or a bird or something from nature, which seems kind of romantic in a very Japanese way. Next color will be, oopsie, sorry, my favorite, Cherry Blossom Pink. It's made with PR233, PO73 and PW6, so it has some white pigment in it, white paint, but as you will see, it doesn't make it too opaque, honestly. There is another color that's very similar to this one in this set. Whee! This is such a cute color. It really reminds me of cherry blossom, sakura blossom. They matched the color very well. So here there isn't as much color separation as with the previous colors, but you can definitely see the granulation happening. Just to remind you, I'm swatching on Holbein, on Arches cold press paper. Okay, and the final color will be Flamingo Orange. Add some water and let's go. Oh, it's made from pigments PR233 and PO73. So many of the colors contain the same pigments. Lots of Potter's Pink, lots of this orange pigment. Sorry, I'm not a pigment expert. If you want a very detailed pigment breakdown, please go to Paint in Hiding's channel. V is an expert on different paints and pigments, and I'm just an art enthusiast from Poland. Flamingo Orange, right? Let's leave it more intense at the top and add more water here. So this is a very nice coral orange. You can see some separation, but nothing too crazy. I will add extra water here as well, and here. This is how the first 4 paints look. Flamingo Orange, Cherry Blossom Pink, Trumpet Vine Red, and Burke's Parrot Pink. Moving on, we have 2 more red and yellow pigments, and then the green and blue section will begin. So at the top we will swatch Lunar Eclipse Red, and this paint is made with BV7 and BV15. So those are 2 different fluorescent dyes, not light fast. Then we have PY110 and PR122. I know that in the colored pencils kind of community groups on YouTube, there was some drama about Holbein's light fastness claims, since Holbein doesn't use the blue wool scale that most Western companies use. They seem to have their own testing and light fastness rating system, and it's just for us, for customers, there is basically no way to compare between those 2 light fast rating systems, and some people have been quite upset about this. Holbein basically can claim whatever they want, and it's very difficult to verify. Anyway, so this is Lunar Eclipse Red. Looks honestly like a quite bloody red, and it's hard to see the fluorescent pigments, the BV pigments, if we compare it to Burke Parrot's Pink, which is obviously very opera pink like. This is more toned down. Let's see if it separates more with time and some water. Next up we have our first yellow. This is Pampas Grass Yellow. Pampas grass, that's cute. My mom has pampas grass in her garden. So, typical to Holbein paints, I would say, these don't spread very impressively. They are a slow flowing paint. That's the same for the typical normal watercolors. What pigment is this made of? So, Pampas Grass Yellow is made of PR233, PY43, and PY83. So this should granulate, and it might separate a little bit into yellow and red. I think I can see some red separating in the paint, but yeah, definitely there is some red settling down into the paper. Seems to be the heavier pigment. See, there is some red in the paper. Okay, so that's an interesting kind of yellow, and a very warm yellow with some red in it. Next up, let's move on to the greens. Okie dokie. No, wait a minute, it says yellow. So next color is Full Moon Yellow. It's made of pigment PY159, PY42, and PBK6. So instead of red, here they added a bit of black. Let's see. Full Moon Yellow, what do they mean? From my experience, full moon is very bright, and I don't remember the last time it was yellow. Need more water. So this is still a very, well, is it actually warm? Yeah, it seems warm, but it's very green leaning because of the black pigment. Where is the granulation though? Let's give it some more time. So overall, that's a color that's not very appealing, at least to me. Full Moon Yellow. But it might work well in landscapes, probably. Next up, we have Japanese Bush Warbler Green, which is kind of funny because in Japanese it's just called uguisu. And uguisu it's a type of a bird that's typically reminiscent of spring. And if it often comes up in Japanese art, for example, haiku poetry, and other types of poetry like tanka and waka, and also you can often see uguisu in Japanese paintings, even in the simple, like everyday type of paintings, which I also like, called etegami. So this bird actually is kind of green-ish, has has a green tint to its feather. It's a very small bird. I like this green. It's a very nice green. Let's add more water. So lots of yellow and some granulating green in this color. Nice, much nicer than the previous one, at least to my mind. There is some granulation, the green pigment is settling down into the paper. That's nice. So we've done the second row. Let's move on to the third row. I'm trying to keep the paints in order in my box, so I'm putting them away to the slots where they came from. So now we have just greens and blues. Mimosa Yellow, but it looks very green. Wonder Forest Green. Peafowl Green. And Ocean Blue. I've already played around with Ocean Blue because I like the color separation. But let me show you. So first up, let's swatch the Mimosa Yellow. Just let me put the clip here. I don't want the paper to lift that much. Oh. Well. Nope. Okay. So I put the clip here to stop the paper from moving. First, let's add some clean water. Mimosa Yellow is made from PY159, again PB29 and PG17. So we have some repeat pigments as well as PB29, which is ultramarine blue, right? If I remember correctly. Okay, you can see it has low tinting strength. It's pretty transparent, but it is color separating. Immediately I can see the blue separating. Let's add some more. I want to have good swatches to come back to in my sketchbook. But it is very transparent. Kind of reminds me of Green Earth watercolor. One of the colors that I never actually got because it seemed like too weak. Okay. But surprisingly, I find this color very nice, very beautiful. I tend to prefer the ones which have more color separation. Next up, Wonder Forest Green. Wonder Forest Green. Oh, by the way, if you guys have the Schminke super granulating colors, please let me know if there are similarities. I only have a few colors and we can compare them later. So Wonder Forest Green is made of PY43 and PG50. PG50. Cobalt turquoise, right? Okay, so this is definitely a stronger color. PY42. Okay, okay. I see what they did here. Let's give it some more water. So there should be no color separation here, but we should get nice granulation from both of those pigments. Next up, peafowl green. Sounds like some kind of bird. It's made from PY159, PR232, PG7 and PB15. Wait, is PB15 ultramarine? I envy you people who remember all of the pigments by heart. I always, well, I don't know. My brain doesn't have enough operating power to remember all of the pigment names. But so far, this is the paint with most pigments, and we all know Holbein love to add extra pigments to their colors. Like most, well, I don't know if most, but so many of their watercolors are mixed pigment to the point you start wondering why, whether it's actually necessary to mix pigments. Like their primary yellow, I think, even is mixed pigment. But I don't mind lots of pigments in specialty watercolors like this, where you want to have some kind of special effects like granulation or color separation. Then it's fine, I suppose. But I am aware that some people dislike it. I like the color separation in this one. It's very obvious. Well done. Peafowl green. Cute. You can definitely see the blue coming out. And the warm green settling into the paper in the background. Lovely. And next up is one of my favorites, Ocean Blue. Ocean Blue is made from PY159 and PB15, and this one has a very strong color separation. You can even see it on this tube label here. Let's go. Ocean Blue. So it's a very vibrant color. It's not toned down or shy. Which I like. I just love this turquoise hue you get from those two pigments. And I really enjoy this color separation. So this is Arch Cold Press, and since this series is called Super Granulating watercolors, there could be some more granulation, to be honest, but maybe you will achieve better results on rough paper. Okay, so this is Ocean Blue. I think it's lovely. Let's zoom you out a little bit. After all of the colors dry, I will make close-up shots for you. Moving on to the next page. Up next, we have the blue and purple territory. So very exciting for me. I love blue, I love purples and violets. Our next 4 colors will be Jade, Vine Blue, Nightfall Indigo, Clematis Violet, and Earthshine Violet. So Jade Vine Blue, it's made from lots of pigments again. PV49, PG7, PB15 and PW6. There is some white in it. We can expect some opacity. Well, let's see how much. Wow, look at this. Oh, I know. Gosh, so explosive. Here is a little handmade palette made by Cherry Ola Art on Instagram. She's lovely, go and follow her. She makes her own paints and palettes. Oh my gosh. Ooh. So, Jade Vine Blue. Okay, I see you. You messy. Interesting. Those paints, by the way, came here by plane. A friend of mine, Keiko, was coming back from Japan and she agreed to bring me some paints. Thank you so much, Keiko. And therefore, I'm like one of the few people in Europe who have those paints at the moment. So far, they haven't started selling them in Europe, but I suppose it will happen within a few weeks or months. Okay, too bad this exploded because this is actually a very nice color. You can see the purple pigment settling down into the paper. And it's just a very nice cerulean kind of sky blue, reminiscent blue. Without any hints of green, but with some purple. Or actually, if you look very hard, you can see some PG7 phthalo blue. That's a very nice color. So this is like a mix of blue, excuse me, and purple. Oh my god, what if more paints explode? Now I'm getting anxiety. Let me grab another porcelain palette. All right, I got this one. This is also made by Ola. Hopefully no more paints explode. So, next up, what's next? Next up we have Nightfall Indigo. Okay, I have, oh look, there's a spot. Should be fine. I have played with Nightfall Indigo already because the name sounded intriguing. And I have actually swatched in my private time the 3 colors with fluorescent dyes, and this is one of them. So it's made with PG50, BV7 and BV15, so 2 fluorescent dyes, and PB60. That's cobalt blue, right? Maybe? I'm not sure. I love Nightfall, I love Indigo. Sounded like a color that would fit with my interests, and yeah, it's very beautiful. Let me show you. Since so many people are interested in those paints, I'm thinking of releasing this video as is with no edits, and then giving myself time to work on an edited version where I will put in the screen caps with Holbein's official swatches, and maybe do voiceover in Polish too, since I'm from Poland and many artists from here would probably be interested in those paints. What do you think? Should I just put up an unedited version of the swatching? Maybe. So Nightfall Indigo, not very indigo, but still a nice color. When I think of indigo watercolors, I think of something darker, personal. But let's add more water, see what the fluorescent dyes do. The fluorescent dyes should be purple, and I can see some purple separating, coming out here. Oh no, I messed up. Phew. Okay, so this is Nightfall Indigo, this color and this color, Berg's Parrot Pink, and this color, Lunar Eclipse Red. They all have the fluorescent dyes, and we shouldn't expect them to be light fast, or at least to be light fast in the form we can see them in now, because while other pigments will stay, the fluorescent pigments will fade out very quickly. So in general, you may want to use those paints in your sketchbooks or for scanned and printed art, and it's not the best idea to use it in art that's to be sold and displayed in someone's house, just because the color might change. Next up, we will be swatching Clematis Violet. It's made with PY159, PB29 and PV23. So yellow, blue and violet. Clematis is a cute little flower. It grows in Poland too. I wonder whether the flowers and birds they use are common in your country. You can comment below and let me know. Clematis is, well, I think it is quite common in Poland. Many people have it in their gardens. Wow, okay, Clematis Violet. Immediately we see granulation and some color separation as well. The violet is very strong. So this has to be Cobalt Violet, right? PV23. And we can see this kind of warmer color below the violet settling into the paper. That has to be the yellow, but it's not a clean yellow. Huh. Okay. Okay, interesting. And the last color in this column will be Earth Shine Violet. It's made with PB29, PR177 and PR122. So 2 reds and 1 blue. No violet pigments. See, Holbein paints don't really flow that well. There is a lot of water here all over this paper, and it doesn't spread all that much. Okay. So this is a very warm violet, slightly warmer, even warmer than the Clematis Violet. Kind of reminds me of Mineral Violet. I know Mineral Violet from Roman Schmoll. Kind of. There is good granulation. Let's add some more. So, honestly, it's a pity they only came out with 5mm tubes with those paints. Because, well, I suppose it's good for trying them. But if I really like some paint and use it a lot, I will be precious about it, you know. I will want to save it, and it might stop me from using it, because not only are they not available in Europe at the moment, even in Japan they are just available in 5mm tubes, and I suppose I would like to buy a 10mm tube of my favorite colors, or even 15. So here you can see Earth Shine Violet and Clematis Violet. Definitely see the yellow separation in Clematis Violet. Super cute. Okay. And Earth Shine Violet, the blue settles into the paper, and the reds and violets sit on top. Lovely. So this is how far we've come. For 8 colors left. A Jade Fine Blue, Nightfall Indigo, Clematis Violet, Earth Shine Violet. Next up we have Twilight Purple, Daybreak Orange, Eurasian J Rose Grey, that sounds nice, and Hazy Moon Yellow. Again, Yellow Moon. What's up with the Yellow Moon? So, one more purple. First, I will add some water to the paper. Twilight Purple, made with PV47, PR233, PO13. Phew, non-explosive. Okay, PR233 is Potter's Pink, right? At least this color straight from the tube reminds me of Potter's Pink. Let's see. Yes, personally, very reminiscent of Potter's Pink. Huh? Okay. Seems to me like there is some yellow in it, but it just could be the orange pigment. And let's see the mass tone. Wow, okay. I love this color. This is so pretty. You can see the orange pigment separating, like here, in this small puddle. The violet pigment is settling into the paper, and they seem to have gone very light-handed on the red pigment, or if it's actually Potter's pink, as I suspect, it originally doesn't have very high tinting strength. Okay, well, isn't that lovely? It's interesting though how they all leave this mark where I put them. I promise I'm not scratching the paper with the tube. Let's leave it at that. Beautiful color. I really like it. I would like to use it in portraits and maybe in some fantastical creatures as eye color. Next up, Daybreak Orange. So we have Nightfall Indigo and Daybreak Orange right next to each other. Official swatch looks like this, and it's made with PG50, PO73 and PR254. Let me try something different. Instead of putting it on paper directly, I will take it on the brush. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Why so flowy, Holbein? What's up with this color? Oh, I'm sorry about children yelling outside my window, if you can even hear them. Today is, I think it's the 21st of June, and school, it's the last day of school before summer holiday. Now kids in Poland will have 2 months of summer holiday, so the diploma ceremony is over, and I live next to a school, so I suppose some kids are playing in the football pitch and the playground. And honestly, I don't think I was that loud as a kid, but those kids yell so much. I don't know why. Why do they keep yelling? They just go outside, they leave their homes and scream like madmen, like maniacs. It's perplexing. Yeah, I don't remember just screaming all the time as a kid, but anyways, so I've swatched the Daybreak Orange, very moody, strong pigmentation, strong opacity color. There is no white. Yeah, no white in it. Wow, okay. I don't know if I would call it Daybreak Orange. Maybe this name, Lunar Eclipse Red, would suit it more. But either way. Ooh, can you see the blue? Look at that. The blue is underneath the warm hued paints. Lovely, very nice. Next we have Eurasian J Rose Grey, made with PB29, PG18 and PO7. PO what? I forgot. PO73. Yes, apologies. Oh no, I made a mess. Sorry. I think the swatch worked better when I took the paint straight to my brush, so let's try that again. So Eurasian J is obviously a bird, and Rose Grey sounds quite romantic. I'm expecting this to be a muted grayish pink. Ooh. Okay, very nice. Okay, so this one is slightly reminiscent of Roman Schmo, what's it called? Aquarius Violet. Let's see if it separates and granulates as well as that one. Roman Schmo Aquarius Violet separates into reds and blues and violet. It's a stunning color and very strong. And this one also seems strong. Let's help it out. Okay, I'm not sure if this is showing up on paper, but the blue pigment has settled into the paper and other pigments are still on top. So, interesting. Interesting. Rose Grey seems to be a fitting color, name. And then final in this column we have Hazy Moon Yellow. Hazy Moon Yellow, made with PY159, again lots of this pigment in this palette, PBK6 black and PB15. In my edited video I will put the pigment numbers and names and Holbein swatches on the screen. Oh, wow, this is so dark. I just took a tiny bit. They went strong on the black pigment, so sorry. Oh, okay. So a little bit goes a long way. This is also a very strong color, strong pigment. Very interesting. Here in person I can see the yellow come out Wow. I mean, I realize that the first pigment is yellow and therefore they called it yellow, but yellow is not the color, the first color that jumps to my mind when I look at this swatch. But it looks more grayish green. Still very interesting. So our swatching is going well. Last 4 paints. We swatched Twilight Purple, Daybreak Orange, Eurasian Jade Rose Grey, and Hazy Yellow. And finally we have 4 colors in the grey, blue and black family. It's Equinox Green Grey, Shoebill Blue Grey, Moonlit Night Blue, and Rainy Night Moon Black. Wow, wow, so romantic. I'm loving some of those names, honestly. So let's hope no explosions happen. First up, Equinox Green Grey, made with pigment PB29 and PG17. Their swatch looks like this. Looks promising when it comes to color separation. We might see some. Phew. Oh my gosh, that jade blue vine really stressed me out. I don't know if the paint will explode in my face or what. Okay, this is nice mass tone. And now more water. Oops. Yes. Equinox. What in the world is an equinox? Is that a bird or a plant? Maybe it's some Greek philosopher. Who knows? So this has only 2 pigments, PB29 and PG17, and it's a very lovely muted green gray. Yeah, green gray is a fitting name. Will we see some color separation? I wonder. Well, yes, definitely. The green settles into the paper. No, not the green. The blue settles into the paper. And where blooms are created, where water pools, we can see more of the green come out. Cool. Next color, Shoebill Blue Gray. Shoebill. My shoe bill is very high because I love buying shoes. But this shoe bill sounds maybe like a bird as well. And apparently it's a blue-gray bird. Holbein swatch looks like this. It's made with PB71, PB29 and PBK11. So 2 blues and a black. See, now this reminds me more of indigo. When I hear the color name indigo, I think of something like this. rather than the indigo they gave us in this palette. Well, this is lovely. While I really like crazy bright colors like opera pink and different purples and violets and turquoise cobalt, I also really enjoy toned down, muted colors, moody colors like this one. Quite beautiful. And you can see it separates, the black definitely separates. And then those two blues mix well, and this would be lovely for a night sky. And so they named this color indigo, and it doesn't look like what I picture indigo to be at all. And they called this color shoebill blue gray, which I would call shoebill indigo. Look at what's happening here. Let's raise this up a tiny bit. Okay, guys, two final colors. OMG. Two final colors are Moonlit Night Blue and a Rainy Night Moon Black. Wow, wow, wow. Both sound great. Very poetic. Okay, so Moonlit Night Blue, made with PB29, PBK6, just blue and black. Just blue and black. Wow. What blue? PB29. This also reads indigo-ish to me, or in the throne blue. Depends on the brand, right? Some brands make more indigos, they're more blue. Some make them look more like Payne's gray. Okay. Well, lovely. I really like indigo. I like intense throne blue. I have nothing negative to say about those two last colors. Very beautiful. And then the last one. The last one is Rainy Night Moon Black. So on a rainy night the moon is black apparently. Okie dokie. This is Holbein's tube and swatch. This is made with PB29 and PR101. So blue and red. Yeah, in Japanese it's also called Amayonotsuki. So rainy night moon. Okay. Red and blue. And red and blue gives black. Depending on the red and blue. More common way to make black is maybe mixing green and red or green and purple. But this works as well. Why is this so warm? Can you see? Seems to me as if yellow was separating. Probably it's the red pigment. Okay. Okay, so in this color, warm tones and cool tones are fighting with each other. The red is trying to make the color warmer. The blue is trying to make it cooler. Who will be the winner? Granulation is here. Color separation is here. This seems to be the truest black of the whole set. And guys, yay, we did it. We swatched all of the Holbein Granulating watercolors. Let's put the paints back into the cardboard box. Okay, so these are the colors in the tubes, and here are the same colors swatched on arch paper. Let's go over them one by one, but I want to give you this shot of the whole spread. So my initial thoughts are that this is a very versatile watercolor palette, watercolor set. You get some very muted colors like Full Moon Yellow, Cherry Blossom Pink, Echinopsis Green Gray, Shoebill Blue Gray, this blue, this black, Hazy Moon Yellow, Mimosa Yellow maybe, Pampas Grass Yellow maybe, and Lunar Eclipse Red. You get some very bright colors like Burke's Parrot Pink, Flamingo Orange. This Pampas Grass Yellow can be very vibrant depending on how much you apply. Twilight Purple, Daybreak Orange, Earthshine Violet, Ocean Blue, Jade Vine Blue, Wonder Forest Green, Peaful Green, all very bright and vibrant. And when it comes to granulation, they are made with granulating pigment. So depending on how much water you use and what paper you use, you will get more or less granulation. But what's most fun for me are the color separating colors, like Burke's Parrot Pink separates into very bright pink, orange and yellow. Trumpet Vine Red, clearly we can see yellow and red separating. Then there is some color separation here, but not as much. Mimosa Yellow, clearly see yellow separating. Peaful Green, also we can see yellow. And Ocean Blue, it separates into greenish yellow and blue. It's lovely. Jade Vine Blue, despite being explosive, separates wonderfully into blue, tiny hints of pink and violet. This is from the neighboring color. Clematis Violet separates into violet and yellow. Earthshine Violet is very reminiscent of Mineral Violet. So we see some red, some pink, some blue, some violet. Twilight Purple separates into orange and Potter's pinkish pink. Daybreak Orange, look at this separation. The PG50 leaves dark stains of bluish color, and in Mastone this paint can be very dark, which is very cool. Eurasian J separates into orange and blue. Here we can see yellow. Here we can see some blue and some red, which reads more like yellow. Let's zoom in now. Okay, so this was my swatching video of the new Holbein Super Granulating watercolor set, all 24 colors. At the moment, unavailable outside Japan, but if you're lucky enough to travel to Japan or have friends going there or living there who can bring it to you or send it to you, those are your options for buying this set. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in this set, if you want to buy it, and let me know what was your favorite color. Personally, I'm very impressed by Jade Vine Blue. It just hits the right spot for me. I'm loving the Twilight Purple. I'm a big fan of vibrant pink, so of course I like Burke's Part Pink. And I like Cherry Blossom Pink too. But a color like this is very easy to mix on your own. And also Daybreak Orange surprised me a lot. And then my last favorite has to be Ocean Blue. But I really like all those 8 colors, the final 8, from Twilight Purple to Rainy Night Moon Black. They are dark and moody and toned down, and they get the applause. So thank you guys for watching my swatching. I hope you leave your comments down below. I have more swatching videos, so you may want to subscribe. I really appreciate all kinds of interactions with people who watch my stuff. It kind of shows me it's worth the trouble. So thank you, have a nice day, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.